to judge. We're here to talk dish strainers and dish strainers with hard water. If you have a white one, you might not notice it as quickly because it tends to leave white stains. We have really hard water. I let it go a little longer than I like to. It's been a couple of months, but the dish strainer that I have is black. So when the water drips off my dishes and the hard water, I think we probably have lime because it's really white. There's a little bit of redness, so there is a little bit of rust. We just have hard water. That's all it is. But when it gets and it drips off your dishes and then it dries, it leaves that deposit behind and it really shows. If your dish strainer looks like this, don't feel judged. You're not dirty. It's just hard water deposits. But you do need to wash it. So I'm going to take apart my pieces, which is hard with 2 hands, and wash them, let them dry, and it'll be better. You want to make sure that you get a good lather. If you are using these, this one came from Dollar Tree. I have to open the back up a little so there's enough air for it to actually let the soap out. But I also mix the dish soap with water when I put it in there. And it makes sure that there's enough water for the dish soap to properly lather. Because if you don't have enough water, you're just going to have too much dish soap. And that's actually going to contribute to this buildup because you'll have soap buildup also. I'm just patting down the sponge to get soap onto everything, and then I'm going to get the brush to scrub this so that it's not going to rip up my sponge. And I actually also at Dollar Tree got one of these brush bristle heads, and they have like a replacement pack of these sponges. It's like 4. So really I invested $5 up front and got 5 sponges, a handle, and a scrub brush. This lets soap out through the bottom, but because it's not getting caught in the sponge, it just kind of comes out like soap, and you have to froth it a little. I'm just going to get some soap on it, and then use the scrub brush. My rig, I have 2. That is just because when you make food at home 3 meals a day for 3 people and 2 cats who have to have their food specially prepared because they can't swallow solids, it uses a lot of dishes, and I don't like drying and putting them away, so I let them sit in the dryer, and I don't really care. They're clean, they're sitting in the strainer, and I pull them out of there. And you'll notice that the wire rack on the top really doesn't have anything. I'm still cleaning it. Still clean it. But that's because the water drips down into the catch tray. And the catch tray looks really gross because it's caught all of the water off of all of the dishes that you've washed in the last month or however long since you've done this. It's been a couple of months for me. I've been slacking. But that stuff is not sitting on your dishes, is my point. It's in the catch tray because it's dripped off of your dishes. And this tray is the top tray, which pours down into the bottom tray because I have them propped up on towels. Actually, I can show you. I have them propped up on towels and foam so that the top tray drains into the bottom tray, drains into the sink, so that you don't get standing water, which would make this even worse. But you'll notice that the top tray has less buildup than the bottom tray because that water drips off of here and gets caught in the bottom tray on its way down to the sink. So it just is hard water, and it's gross, but it's not like your dishes are gross. That water has come off. Me. Ooh, you can tell if your soap needs more water because it'll be thick rather than foamy. This is full of tiny bubbles. It's got enough water. If it was more leaving streaks, it would need more water. This dish soap is designed to be used with a lot of water. It needs it. And so, to save water, I don't leave it running all the time. But see here, it's streaky, not foamy. It needs more water. And if you saw me squish the sponge against the wall, I'm just squeezing all the excess moisture out of it. Because, yeah, it's still a little wet. It'll dry way faster if I get as much moisture out as I can. Alright, and then when these dry, I'll put them back together and they'll be ready to go.